The topic, Secrets of the Light of Torah. Basically an association of imperfect holy men and women. But the specific title is Wisdom, Humility, and the Law of Cause and Effect. Wisdom, humility, and the law of cause and effect. And it's from the book of Proverbs. Let's keep in mind that the New Testament is based on the Torah. So I used a particular translation called the Tanakh, which has Proverbs as well as other books of the Torah in here. I'm going to start by talking about 4 ways to increase wisdom. The source of all wisdom, as we know from the Torah, is the fear of God. Now, this is a healthy fear of God. It's not like a dread or a fear, an unhealthy fear like you might have of a phobia. It's not a phobia we're talking about. We're talking about a healthy fear and a respect. And what it is basically saying, if I don't follow God's laws, I'll be punished. Bad things will happen to me, not because there'll be lightning from the sky, but just the way of the nature of things. Just like if I pick this up and drop it, it falls. So there's immediate consequences to whatever I do, and I will eventually reap what I sow. If it doesn't, it'll happen both in the external world. If you hurt somebody, eventually other people realize they can't trust you, or somebody may have revenge and hurt you. Or if you keep hurting people, eventually you yourself, by projecting your own psyche on others, you won't trust anybody. I can't trust anybody because it's a dangerous world. Why? Because we ourselves are not trustworthy, so we don't trust anybody. Now, keep in mind, there's a time not to trust people. There's a time to be very cautious. But I'm talking about just as a modus operandum. So, or if a person is not a fair person, they look at the world as an unjust place. If a person's a generous person, they're immediately rewarded. They look at it as a safer world. So through an internal mechanism, there's an effect to everything that we think and do, as well as an external consequence that might take years to occur. So the fear of God is the source of all wisdom. Now, a second is humility. This is, again, we're talking actually 5 ways to increase wisdom. Humility. Because humility, when we really look at that, it guards us. It's actually a guard against ourselves, because we tend to be totally self-absorbed. We're just in our own reality, but as we're humble, a number of things can happen. For one thing, we can say there is one greater than ourselves, God, a station to which I can never be. So right there, that requires humility to say there's one greater than me, far greater than me. So that's the beginning of humility, because once you can say there's one far greater than me, to whose heights I can never aspire, then I can also recognize, well, this person is better than me in these ways. This person is better than me in such and such a way. We're then prepared to recognize others that are humans that are greater than ourselves in certain ways. So here humility is necessary to recognize that there is a God. Now, there's another part of humility. Then to be able to say, God knows what's better for me than I know for myself. It's a huge step. Many people who don't have that say, no, I know what's best for me. Well, a 2-year-old child going after a ball that goes in the road, he goes after that ball, not seeing the car coming at him. He doesn't know what's best for him. He just wants the ball. But the father who grabs him, and the child might be very angry and go into a rage. Why did you grab me? I wanted that ball, not realizing the consequence of what would have happened, would have been smashed and destroyed. But the father saved him.